Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a brand focus or a brand centric video where I highlight certain products from a certain brand that I have in my collection and showcase, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, and just pretty much introduce you to a brand and some products that you may not be familiar with from a certain brand, or even a brand that you may not be that familiar with. So I decided to start out with IT Cosmetics, and I chose IT Cosmetics to start off with because this brand is relatively new on the market. Not that many people talk about it here on YouTube, and it's a great brand that has debuted in Ulta stores. It's actually being expanded to numerous Ulta stores. I was lucky enough to have it in my local Ulta store, so I could go in, play with the products, check them out in person before I actually bought them. But it's also available online at ulta.com. You can get them at itcosmetics.com, and they're also available on QVC, where you can get package bargain deals and all that good stuff. You can get sets for a relatively great price. So definitely I want you guys to check this brand out, and I'm going to go into some spotlight products that you should definitely keep an eye out on, and then I'm going to mention a couple of things that, you know, may not be that great. So stay tuned. So just a little background into the brand. It was founded by Jamie Kern, who is a former news anchor who has trouble with rosacea on her skin, which is where your skin gets these red blotches. And she said she's tried many products on the market. They made her skin look cakey and not natural looking. So she went about working with plastic surgeons, and she created this clinically proven anti-aging infused makeup line that helps others with problem skin. It helped her with her problems, because her problems were the first problems that she had to deal with, and that's what kind of inspired her to go ahead and help out others, create her own brand, and showcase these products. So one of the first products I picked up from this brand is the Bye Under Eye Corrector, and I picked up the shade Rich. There are only 3 shades: light, medium, and rich. So that's something to be mindful about this brand. They have very limited shades in the actual lineup. And the Bye Under Eye Corrector is a peach-based concealer product for use under your eyes. So I'll show you the shade right now. Corrector. So as you can see, this corrector has a strong peach or orange undertone, and it's great for canceling out dark under eye circles, and it's very creamy. So if you're looking for a salmon concealer, an alternative to Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer, and you wanted an orange based concealer that's going to correct darkness under the eyes, because that's what a corrector does. It corrects colors. So it corrects the color under your eyes, which tends to be blue or purple, and the orange cancels that out. So this is actually a great product to pick up. I actually really like this one. Now the next product up is the Bye Under Eye Concealer, which is infused with collagen and vitamin C and K, and it helps with fine lines, wrinkles, and discoloration. So it conceals dark circles. And this color is tan, and there are 4 shades available, and as you can see, tan on me is very light, so I should have gone with deep. But this concealer is very thick, it's very creamy, it's very pigmented. I personally didn't love this concealer because it is so creamy. It can settle into the lines under your eyes, which is kind of the reverse of what she was trying to do, but it's so creamy that you have to definitely use just a little bit and really blend it in, and I didn't like that I had to do so much with it. So you have to be very careful with this. You have to really use a little bit and really blend it in, and then set it with a powder product to keep it in place, because I had trouble with this particular product creasing. Next up, we have another under eye product, and this is Eyelift in a tube, which has a Bye Under Eye Concealer on one end and the Hello Light Brightener on the other end, and it's a highlighter product and a concealer in one. This one I got the shade Deep. Finally I got the right shade in my concealer, and the other end is Nude Radiance. Now the concealer is still creamy, but I don't know if it's because it has a doe foot applicator, so it had to be a different kind of formulation. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as thick as the concealer in the tube. So I like this a lot more than the actual concealer itself. I don't know why, because this should be the same Bye Under Eye Concealer. This I found to be a little bit more workable. It's a little bit more lightweight, so it blended in nicely. I really like this. I like the combination of the brightener and the concealer. I think this one works really great if you're looking for a duo product that does concealing and highlighting. I really like this one. So this one I suggest over the actual concealer. So in addition to having concealer and under eye products, there's also a foundation. This is the O2 Ultra Repair Liquid Oxygen Foundation, and it says it has peptides, hyaluronic acid, niacin, hydrolyzed collagen, and vitamins A, C, and E, which are great skin benefits. They're great for anti-aging benefits as well. And this again is the shade Rich. As you can see, this color kind of blends in with my complexion. It gives me a slight tan, so you could be a little bit darker than me and still use this shade, but I don't think that this is going to suit really dark complexions. I like this foundation. It's lightweight. It's almost like a tinted moisturizer, but it gives you nice full coverage. And I like how it feels on my skin. It's not my favorite foundation in the world, but I think it is a good foundation. Would I repurchase? Probably not, but it's something to check out if you're interested in the anti-aging benefits of this foundation. Although I can't speak much for it because, I mean, I'm aging, but I haven't had issues to where I can show true results from this. Next up, we have the powder foundation, which is called the Celebration Foundation, and this is in the shade Rich. Again, this is not my perfect shade. It actually comes off a little bit lighter on my skin, which is weird, but it's a great powder foundation. It's really smooth. It also has the anti-aging collagen infusion, so it's a nice, smooth, finely milled foundation. I actually used it today to set my T-zone, and I actually do like it. It's not a full coverage foundation. I find it does cover and it does give a nice finish, but again, the color selection is not the best, and this looks a little bit pale on my skin, so it's not the best match. So if you're interested in a powder foundation or a mineral type of foundation, I would suggest checking it out, but I am not 100% sure on how much I really like it because it does come off a little bit light on my skin. But for smoothness, blendability, I think it's really nice. I think the coverage is decent as well. So if you're interested, check this out as well. Now let's move on to the highlight products. There's a Hello Light Illuminating Powder, which is a light shimmery kind of peachy gold shade. And this is absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely glorious. It gives you a nice glow. But it's very pigmented. You have to be light-handed with this, especially if you have darker skin, because it's going to come off crazy. And if you have oily skin as well, it's going to come off a little overwhelming. So use a light hand, a light brush for this, but it's very smooth. It has a very creamy texture, and when it's blended in, it gives this absolutely great sheen. Especially on pale skin, you will love the sheen that this gives you, the glow that it gives you, as you can see on my arm right now. It will work for darker skin, but it's going to take a little bit more work and a little bit more light-handedness. So next up is a loose highlighter, and this is the Airbrush Illuminizer. It's a poreless finish HD Illuminizer, and this is a loose powder version of her Illuminizer, and it's a nice light golden champagne shade, and it has a sifter, and this is going to be, it's highly pigmented, but it's more blendable because it is a loose powder. So if you have darker skin or you didn't want that intensity, definitely go for the powder version, the loose powder version, because that will be more blendable and it's something that you can be more light-handed with. So I think this one is gorgeous. It gives you a nice, subtle, natural glow, and it's absolutely glorious. Next up is a product that I picked up late last year, and this is the Live, Love, Laugh Vitality Face Disc, which has a highlight product, a blush product, and a bronzer, and this is absolutely glorious. I fell in love with this in store. It has a gloriously golden peachy pink blush and a champagne highlight and a matte bronzer. This is great for all over face color. This is what I used on my face today, and I absolutely love this. This one I think is great for travel because it has those 3 shades in there. So this one I definitely really recommend, and it has a nice big mirror so you can use as well. This one I think is a great find. Another thing to note is that the bronzer shade in this trio is actually darker than the single bronzer shade that they have. So if you're lighter skin, check out the actual single bronzer shade, because this one, it comes off a little bit darker. And I know this because I was swatching this next to a paler skin lady and she uses the bronzer itself and she actually really loves it, but she said this one's a little bit too dark. So the bronzer, the powders are really smoothly, finely milled, so they're great, buttery soft, and they blend amazingly. Now, keeping with cheek products, I have the Vitality Cheek Flush in Pretty in Peony, and this is one of their powder blush shades, and this is absolutely gorgeous. It's this berry coral golden shade. It has such a gorgeous sheen to it, and this actually works great on the majority of skin tones. It will give you a nice golden flush. So from the lightest to darkest skin, I think you can definitely get great use out of this. For lighter skin, definitely use a light hand because this pigmentation is serious. So on darker skin, you can definitely build it up because it gives great color payoff, and it blends smoothly on the skin. It does have a glow to it that can highlight pores though. So if you have enlarged pores, just stay away from like the inner parts of your face. I just kept it on the high points of my cheeks, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Next up is another face product that might remind you of something similar on the market. Yes, it's a contour and highlight kit. This is called My Sculpted Face, and this I actually picked up before I picked up the contour palette from Anastasia, and this has 4 contour shades and 2 highlight shades. What I like about it is that it has 4 contour shades, and you can mix them. You have a really dark shade here, which is going to work great on dark skin. It actually shows up on dark skin, and then you can mix it in with the different contour shades to kind of customize a shade for your own contour. I really like this, and I like how buttery soft the shades actually are, so they blend really well onto the skin, which is key when you're doing contour. You don't want to see that harsh line, so they're really blendable, really smooth against your skin. What I didn't like are the highlight shades. This one is almost like a vanilla white shade. It actually will work nicely on light skin, so I think it will work great for pale skin. And then this champagne-y shade is really icy, really frosty, and I just didn't like the highlight shades that they chose to put in. I would have rather like a pinky highlight or a yellowy highlight that we could use, would be more usable for a variety of skin tones. You can, however, mix it in with the other shades to lighten them up and give you a customized highlight shade, and you can use it very light-handedly. But I didn't like the highlight shades in this at all, but the contour shades I think get an A+. So yeah, I'm so-so with this one. I love the contour shades, don't like the highlight ones, but it's great for light skin and it's great for darker skin because of the contour shades, but it just goes from like an extremely light shade to an extremely dark. So I'm on the fence, but I do like this palette. Next up is an eyeshadow palette, and they actually have another eyeshadow palette which I think has 9 or 12 shades as well, and this one is their more recent one, and it's a Naturally Pretty palette, which you may have heard this mentioned on YouTube, but I got this first. But anyway, it's a matte palette. All these shades are meant to be matte, and then you have a transformer shade that adds pearl to any of these shadows. The thing about these eyeshadows are they're not truly matte. They're not that flat and matte finish that you would expect from a matte eyeshadow. They, to me, are more of a natural matte or a satin matte because they're so buttery soft. They come off with a slight sheen, and I don't know if you can tell. There's not like a flat matte finish to them. I actually wore this in my swatch video for the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. People were asking me what I was wearing on my eyes. This is the palette that I was actually wearing. See, I told you I got it first. So as you can tell from this palette, it's not the run-of-the-mill typical neutral palette that you find on the market. It actually has a variety of shades. It has nice highlight shades, it has great medium shades, as well as pops of color. It has a violet shade, a midnight shade, a black shade. It has a coppery shade as well, and these colors actually work really well together. Like I said, I wore this in that Kat Von D video, and I like that the highlight shades are not stark. They're actually very usable on darker skin, lighter skin. It works for medium skin. It works for a variety of skin tones. So I really love this palette. And the Transforming Pearl shade is actually great as a highlight color itself, but it can be used over any of these shades to kind of transform them into a pearlescent finish. I like this palette. I do actually really love the colors in this palette and how they blend on the skin. Like I said, I wore this already. I wore this a couple of times actually, and it blends really seamlessly. The colors blend great together. I think this palette is a great find. Next up is another eye product, and this is a mascara. This is the Tightline Full Lash Length Black Primer with Peptide Enhancing Serum. So this is meant to be a lash primer, which I wouldn't consider it a primer, because when you think primer, it's something that coats your lashes and gives you more fullness when you use your mascara. This, I think, is a prep. Not so much a primer, but a prep. The brush is really tiny, so when you apply it to your lashes, you can get right at the roots and really volumize and apply darkness to the base of your lashes, hence the Tightline name. So I think this is great for prepping lashes to prepare them for a fuller mascara, like a full voluminous mascara. This works great for just volumizing those roots, and you can use it for your regular mascara too, but I find that it's not as volumizing, but it does give nice lift to the root. I think this is an innovative product. It's one of the first ones that I've seen with this really fine brush that is meant to really get at the roots of your lashes. You have mascaras that are meant for your lower lash line and they have smaller brushes, but this one is so tiny that it can get right up against your lashes and really tight line your lashes and give you volume. So I think this one is innovative. Definitely check this guy out because it's something different on the market. Another product that I actually got gifted is the Brow Power Universal Brow Pencil, and this has a dual end. It has the spoolie on one end and the actual pencil on one, and this is meant to be a universal color. It has a very flat tip, and I tested, many people don't know this, I tested the Tom Ford brow pencil before it was actually launched, and it has a similar shape to the Tom Ford. The Tom Ford is actually larger. It has a similar concept and I like the shape of it, but I just find that the color is not as dark as I would like it. I think this would work great on lighter brows and lighter hair and lighter skin. It doesn't necessarily work for darker skin or darker brow hair. So I think it's a great color. It's just not perfect for me. And I don't know about the longevity because I haven't used it, and the shape is a little bit different, so it takes some getting used to. But it's something that you can check out if you're interested. This one I wouldn't rush out and get. The Anastasia Brow Wiz is much better than this guy. Also a very dry product, so the product kind of drags on your brows. Even though I like dry products on my brows, this one is a little bit too dry and the color doesn't come off easily. And then last but definitely not least are two brushes that I picked up from the line. I have the flat top foundation brush, which I have absolutely fallen in love with. This brush is the perfect shape for my foundation. These are the kinds of brushes I love to use. They're a kabuki style brush and they're flat top, so you buff the liquid foundation onto your skin. What I love about this brush is it's really dense, but it's so airy soft at the same time. It's weird. It's like an airbrush on your skin because it's so light and feathery and it's so soft. It's very soft and it's light on your skin. So you airbrush the foundation on your skin. It buffs it on. It looks really great. But I don't know how they did it with these bristles. They made it really soft so it just airbrushes on. I absolutely love this brush. This is my favorite brush. It's taken over. It's my go-to foundation brush now. Hands down, it's my must-have. The next brush is the angled brush, which is also this nice soft airy feel even though it's a dense brush. And I love this for contour and for blush. I want to get a second one for blush and keep one for contour specifically, but it works so well because of that airy finish, and it really buffs and just blends in these products, the foundation. Not foundation, it blends in contour and blush really well. I really love these brushes, but they can get really expensive. But I think the brushes are one of the top products in the line. Like I said, last but definitely not least, I think these are brushes that you need to check out. So there you go, guys. That wraps up all the IT Cosmetics products that I have in my collection. That some of them I absolutely love. I've fallen in love with. Some I'm on the fence about, and then some don't work well for me because of the shade range. So I definitely think this brand is worth checking out. Definitely check them out at Ulta. They're expanding their range in Ulta stores, so there'll be more Ulta stores with the actual display of the IT products. So definitely check them out in Ulta stores when they become available. Check them out on QVC too, because they have great sets that you can buy for much cheaper than buying the products individually. So if you want to get a nice deal, check out QVC as well. I definitely think the face disc, the blushes, the And the eyeshadow palettes are great finds. I love the brushes. These are my favorite from the line. I absolutely fell in love with them. The highlight colors are great as well. I just think overall this brand is worth checking out. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have anything from this brand and what you think. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye!